Hello, my loves, and welcome back to your perfect Pisces reading here for those Pisces out there that are looking for their May reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't checked out your moon reading or your love bonus, it's out there as well. Please forgive my hair for any of you who've ever had a day that's kind of taken a turn and hit soccer fields and rain and it's been one of those days, but I did want to kind of get everybody's out if I could. So if you're seeing this out of order with one of the other signs, maybe that you watch, if you're a cross watcher and you're like, what happened to her? That's what happened to her. So it's one of those things. I'm having a moment, but we're getting back on track. Lost my mug today, so I'm drinking out of the grandpa tea mug to have my tea. But anyway, my lovely Pisces, we're going to get back on track here for sure. And we're going to have a lovely past, present, future spread for you. And hopefully, again, do remember that time is fluid in tarot and gender is neutral. So depending on where you are in the current spread, we'll kind of decide, you know, how much longer things might take, that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and see what we've got to get started with. Okay, so we've got King of Swords in reverse and a Magician in reverse. And for me, I feel like somebody's really deceived you. They've done you wrong. So this could be somebody at work. This could be somebody, you know, a family member, somebody that you really look up to. It's a kingly type of position. And again, this is gender neutral, so it doesn't have to be like a male figure, of course, but I do feel like it's somebody that you really respected, revered, or had a very dominant position in your life. Okay, so you may have, you know, gone through something with a friend, family member, a boss may have really done you wrong at your employment. Maybe you got kind of screwed over in the raise department, bonus department, something of that nature. Or maybe they let you go and you were blindsided by it. You know, or for many of you, I'm really getting the vibe, unfortunately, that this was a relationship and you were really deceived. Okay, so maybe like almost a stab in the back kind of, you know, deception type of thing. You know, things came to light or things came to fruition and maybe they were just really not who you thought they were. And so for that reason, you know, it's kind of really put them in a position where they've just, you know, you've had to get rid of them, or you're having to, or you feel like you need to. And depending on where you are in that process, will kind of depend on what to do, what you should do, how you're proceeding, those kinds of things. But I do feel like you're coming out of a really kind of precarious situation, to be honest with you, that you're not really in the best place, you know, right now. Let's get another one on that one. Okay, Four of Cups. Yeah, you're not really trying to hear it either. So if they are apologetic, if they are like, okay, you know I did you wrong, you know, maybe there was some infidelity, maybe there was some lying, maybe they, you know, financially they were doing bad things, you know, behind your back or whatever, gambling, whatever, drinking, drugs, whatever it may be. Or if this was a work situation and they're saying, you know, sorry, we passed you over for this or this or this, in lieu of my best buddy or my golf pal or my sister, cousin, friend, whomever, you know, whatever it would be, you know, we can do, we'll fix it. We can fix it. We can get you something just as good, you know, or, you know, whatever, you know, take it as it resonates, whatever this, whomever this person is to you, whatever your scenario is that really has been kind of, you know, you've been kind of backstabbed or treated poorly, you know, deceived. I do feel like you're not trying to hear their apologies. You're not trying to hear anything that they're trying to make amends about. You're just not feeling it. Okay. You're shut off, really. You're really trying to just cut them out. You're done, which is good, you know, good for you. I really do think that's probably the best thing you can do. You know, cut the binds, because that's just not going to be a good thing. You know, it's fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, right? You don't want any part of that. So let's see going forward what you have. So in the present day, and again, remember time is fluid here. So if you're still back here kind of deciding what do I do or going through it, you know, this may be still coming, but you may already be kind of approaching this phase. You have the Devil energy in reverse. Okay, so I do feel like you are casting off those chains. You are like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to hear you. I'm not listening to you. I don't care how apologetic you are. You know, you're standing your ground, which is, I mean, amazing for you. And I think that's going to be the key to any successes you have. Honestly, I truly believe that's amazing. And you have the Knight of Wands, which is a fiery hot energy coming in. And this could be opportunity, this could be love. So again, it's kind of take it as it resonates. What's your situation here? If somebody did you wrong in a job, this could very much be a better job opportunity coming, swooping in to pick you up, because they're like, if they're stupid enough to let this, awesome, employee go, or this, real talent go, I'm going to scoop them up as fast as I can get there. Right. And also, if this is a situation where you've been in a relationship and they've completely, screwed you over, done you wrong, there might have been somebody who has been waiting in the wings thinking, man, how lucky are they to have you, and did you wrong. Can you believe it? I'm going to scoop in and be their knight in shining armor, because I would never do them like that. And I can't wait to come in fiery hot and, really and truly get my chance, because I would never do that to them. So, you've got good things coming in for you. Let's get some more on that. I like that. Okay, Page of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like, this is just something where there could be some breadcrumbing coming for you. Again, I feel like that's, again, coming from these past situations, there might be some breadcrumbing. They might bring you some gifts, send you some little tokens, things like that. If it's a job situation, they might send you a few little offers, hey, we can, incentives to come back, those kinds of things, but it's breadcrumbing. Do not do not even pay that any mind. And I don't feel like you are. In every aspect that I'm getting in this, and all my intuition is telling me that you are just like, no way, and maybe some of you, I do have the distinct feeling that some of you, which is, it's sad in some ways that you've had to go through it before, but for some of you, I feel like you've already been through a situation similar, maybe, in another aspect of your life or whatever, but you're like, no way, I've been down this road before and I can recognize it quicker, faster, better now. No way am I going down that again. And because you've, lived and learned, you're like, done, bye, not taking your breadcrumbs, not taking any of your junk, I'm done with that. So let's get one more on here. Yeah, King of Cups. And I truly believe that's your energy. You are like starting to, with that opportunity coming in, with that fiery hot Knight of Wands coming into you, with you shutting out that devil energy, you are putting out that vibe, that standard, that bar, that whole, like, mojo of like, I am not taking any less than what I deserve, what I should have. If you aren't coming with your best offer, your best self, then you're getting turned away at the door. Bye. And really and truly, that's what kings would do, right? A king is not going to they accept nothing but the best, right? And that's what you're doing. And you're only allowing those people around you who are the best. And you're putting out that energy and that vibration. So what are you going to be drawing in? You're going to be drawing in the best, right? Because you're only accepting the best. Just like a king, right? Do you think kings are letting in all the, the trivial, crud of the kingdom around to kind of come in and just kind of have their ear, be at their side, give them advice? No, they're bringing in their most trusted advisors, top of their game, top in their field. They have that ability to do that. They know, right? They know what they can do, and they have the ability to do that. So I feel like that's where you are. You're on top of your game, because you're like, no, fool me once, shame on you. And I've learned more than once what kind of, what I'll take and what I won't. I'm done with it. And so you tried to deceive me, you tried to pull a fast one on me, you may have succeeded this time because, maybe I was slipping just a bit, or maybe I was really caught up in my work, or maybe I was really, I cared about you, whatever it may have been, I was letting myself kind of let things go over my head, or intentionally kind of turning a blind eye to some things, whatever, but no more. I see you for what you are, right? So good for you. Let's see what going into the future we have here. So we've got the Five of Cups in reverse. And I do think that is something where you are, you're not even bothering to look back. You're not even bothering to worry about it. You're like, you know what? I have you don't have any sort of feeling of regret, remorse, anything about it either. Okay. I feel like you are very content in the fact that you have cut this person off. You're fine with it. Okay. I don't feel like and again, I feel like for a lot of you, it's because you've been through a situation like this before, sadly. I mean, I hate to say that, but you know who you are, or you've been like, this isn't my first rodeo, right? With being screwed over at work or screwed over by a significant other. And so unfortunately, yeah, I know when's enough to say when and not to miss them, right? So like, you know, oh well, better to just get out and pull the Band-Aid off and be done with you and cut you off than to stick around, because that's when it really gets dicey, right? So I feel like that's what you're doing. You're like, I'm not even going to think about that person. I'm not even going to look back, because I know if I do, it's going to make things worse, right? And by doing that, here is the Five of Swords in reverse, right? So again, it's smoothing over, okay? It's like you're not continuing to kind of go at each other. You're not continuing to kind of have that connection with those people, those work people, those relationship people, whatever your situation is, take it as it resonates. But again, you are keeping that smooth by just keeping away from it. Stay out of the drama. You refuse to be in the pot that's being stirred by that devil energy. You're just not a part of it. You're done with it. You're above that, okay? You've got that kingly energy, and that's all you're going for, right? So let's get some more on that. Queen of Swords in reverse. So again, I feel like you are, you know, that's your queenly energy, kingly energy, those kinds of things I feel like are all coming together. It's just something that you're not wielding, you know. I don't feel like you are wanting to, I don't feel like you have a vengeful attitude. That's the thing about this. I think it's something where that's saying that, you know, it's not something that you want to be vengeful about. I don't feel like you want to, you know, try to drive your point home. I don't even, this is the thing about this whole reading here. I feel like it's like that Taylor Swift song. If you don't like Taylor Swift, well, I'm sorry, because I love her. But anyway, she has a song that's something like, you know, and my brain is not working. I told you, I've been out in soccer fields in the rain. I'm a mess. Okay. But anyway, it's like, I forgot to care about you. Like I just, you know, I forgot about you completely, right? The whole song's theme is not that I'm stressed about you, I'm sad about you. It's I'm completely indifferent to you. That's the whole theme of the song, right? And I feel like this is what this is, right? You're so strong and you're so powerful that you really could, you know, really come after this person. You could really come back and make a big deal of this person. You've got King of Cups energy over here. You've got contacts, you've got power, you've got authority, you've got strength, you've got all these things, right? You could make this person look really stupid. You could make a joke of this person. You could really come back and get your revenge if you wanted. But instead, you're harnessing this Queen of Swords energy, okay? That strength, that power. You're kind of just like, I'm just gonna, you know, flip it over. You know, could I drive it home? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm better than that, right? I'm better than that. I'm not even going to let them drag me down to that level, because why? I don't need to. I already know. It's best to just stay away. And this whole kind of forward motion is really a growth motion, honestly. It's like, I'm so over you that I don't even care to think about you, to even care to get back at you, to even care to show you how queenly I am, or wield my sword, or like any of that. Like, I don't even care about that. Let's get another one here. All right, Eight of Swords in reverse. Again, you're free, right? You're so free that they're not even in here. You're not letting them have any headspace at all. You're just done. And when you are that free of them, they cannot control you at all, right? You know, people can only affect you, control you, whatever, as long as you let them, if you give them the headspace, right? But once you are, you know, you're so over it, you're so like, who cares about it? I'm done. I don't have any tie, regret, concern, literally no emotions to it. And I'm telling you, if you haven't heard that Taylor Swift song, you need to find it. I wish I could think of the title of it, because so sad. Sorry to all my other Swifties out there, because I'd be like right on it. But anyway, you know the song I'm talking about if you know her music, and it's just basically, I totally don't care. I forgot to even think about you kind of thing. So that's where you are. You're so over it. You're like, you're not even a blip on my radar anymore. Like, I am so free of you that I can move on to anything I want, and I am in absolute control. Like, this is my domain, my kingdom, and I will live the way I want, despite the fact that you tried to stab me in the back, despite the fact you tried to tear me down, despite the fact you tried to screw me over, cheat, lie, steal, whatever may have happened, fire me, pass me over for whatever reason, whatever is your situation, take it as it resonates. But you're just not even letting it affect your day, month, year anymore. And let's get one final one on here. All right, so the Four of Wands in reverse. A lot of reversals today. So I feel like with you is that's really just saying that you aren't letting it shake your foundation. Okay. I don't think that you are letting anything affect your foundation. You are going to continue to find a foundation that is suitable to you. But I don't think you're letting anything affect your foundation. You may not even be looking for foundation, but again, any foundation that you had with them is just a thing of the past to you. Maybe, there was a time if you were in that relationship that was all you could see, all you could think about for a minute, just a hot minute. But that seems so long ago by the time you get here. And that could be just a month down the road. It could be a month and a half. Again, it's kind of like your timeline. Time is fluid. Where are you? Kind of how quick do you get over things, those kinds of things. But again, for most of you, I see it's a pretty quick process. And I feel like it's just something where, there may have been a point or a time where everything in your life felt like it hinged on that. If it was a job, your entire foundation hinged on you getting that raise, that bonus, that whatever. If it was, a relationship, you felt like everything in your happiness and joy hinged on that. You were like almost like that kid who's writing in their journal their name with their boyfriend's last name or girlfriend's last name, and planning out your wedding and your 2.3 kids and doing your mash, and I'm gonna have a mansion and drive a Lamborghini and whatever, if you guys remember that at all. But you're so past that you're like, no, I'm chucking all of those thoughts anyway. They're so gone because I'm going to start my life the way I want it. And it's not going to depend on any of that junk because that person is so out of, my head space that it's crazy. They just they're not even a factor. So let's get some cards out of the psychic deck. We'll pull one for each row here and kind of see if we can get some enlightenment or some advice, things like that might kind of give you some additional information. Alrighty. All right. What do we got here? All right. So we have everything's upside down for you guys today. Okay. Positive movement forward. Okay. And I do think this is exactly where you start to make your positive movement forward is when you stop listening. Okay. When this 4 of Cups hits the fan really, and that's like, you're like, nope, I am immediately done listening to you. Okay. And again, I feel like that's because there are a lot of you who may have had, unfortunately, sadly, may have had to deal with this kind of person, this kind of situation, this kind of thing before where somebody's just really done you dirty. Okay. And so I feel like immediately you're like, no, I'm done. I'm not sticking around to let you keep dragging me back down. I know better. Okay. I am moving forward in a positive way. Without you, you will not affect me. Okay. And I think that is exactly the best thing you can do. And unfortunately, it may have had to come from, again, like for some of you, because you learned the hard way, unfortunately. But hey, you know what? If you learned from it, that's all you can ask, right? Because look, it saved you so much this time, because you cannot ever change people, right? You can't change the way people treat you. People are going to do what people do. Sometimes they're just heinous, right? You cannot change the way people treat you. What you can change is how you react, right? So you reacted beautifully here, okay? So crown chakra, you mentally know what you need, every chakra here, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's your creative sacral chakras. It doesn't matter if it was your heart. It doesn't matter if it was your head. It doesn't matter if it was your third eye seeing, it doesn't matter. But really mentally, exactly. You're logically like, this is insane. This person thinks I need them, or I'm going to stick around and let them keep giving me, breadcrumbs here. No way am I going to let them keep coming back with these breadcrumbs. That's not happening. I've got better opportunities, and I've got so much more intelligence, intellect, experience. Okay. All of these things that I can put together, and I can see them for what they are, and I'm shoving that away, and I'm refusing that binding to that person. I'm done with that. So this is, you're listening to your body, and that's amazing. So again, here we have harmony. And I feel like, again, that Knight of Wands coming in earlier, I do feel like they're going to be around, and I feel like they are something that, really is going to lend strength to you in a way that's going to kind of distract you and keep you to where this is so much easier than it would be if you might be completely alone. If you're one of those people who's like, I'm completely alone, I have nothing, and you have time to sit by yourself and think and dwell and all that. That does make it harder, of course, to say, I'm just completely cutting you out of my life and never thinking of you again and all that. But because you have that Knight of Wands coming in, I feel like that Knight of Wands energy is a fiery hot energy, that's somebody that's there for you in more than just a maybe opportunity way. Could be both, could be coming in to kind of help you get an opportunity for something, but also I do feel like there is a love vibe there for sure, a relationship vibe. Even if not, it could be a very strong, situationship vibe where maybe you guys, are good friends and can do a lot of things together. Either way, there's somebody that you can work harmoniously with. It does help distract you. It does help you feel a lot better, stronger, makes you feel better about yourself. They're actually a good person to have around, a good person to be with, somebody who can help you make connections as well. They're not somebody who's stab in the back type, those kinds of things. So they are, a stronger, person to have around you. And that makes it a lot easier for you to just not even want to bother to look in the rearview mirror at that, because by comparison, for sure, you're kind of like, why would I ever even bother to look back at that person when, I've got somebody so much better right here that I can hang out with and a future so much brighter to work on, right? So that does make it a lot easier for you. And I think it, to have that harmony there, makes it so much easier to say, pound sand, buddy, when they start trying to come back, bread from you, when you're not trying to hear it, I think you will certainly be easily able to tell them to pound sand. So this is the Moon deck. Let's go ahead and get one for each out of here and see what we've got for you. So realization, yeah, no doubt. You're realizing for sure that you are done, okay? Because you see what they've done to you. You see they're not the person you expected them to be. They have mistreated you, lied, stabbed you in the back, deceived you in some way, some form, some fashion, and you are not trying to hear it anymore. You've made a realization and you are just over it, okay? And faith, you are definitely keeping the faith here. I think for sure, you know that you have so much better ahead of you. I think that fiery hot Knight of Wands coming in is helping you to know that you have so many better things ahead. And of course, by comparison to the last person or people around you, you know that you can do better. You're not putting up with the breadcrumbs because you know in your soul that you can do better. Again, you have so much faith that you can do better, probably because some of you have been through this before and hey, better, I can do better. And you're cutting that devil energy off because you see it for what it is. You have faith that you are reading this right. You know what's up. It's better to get out. You're keeping the faith that you are going to go in that positive direction by just cutting that out. And you're completely right. And then the last one is surrender. And in this particular deck, surrender is like, you're surrendering to, the things that are, bringing you joy, bringing you light, okay? Because if you look at this, they literally are surrendering to things that are, the light, the things that are good. It's not like, oh, I'm giving up, I'm done, I'm just gonna crawl in a hole and die, that kind of surrender. It can be, I'm surrendering to a certain situation that may be easier for me. But in this situation, I think for you, that's the case, is that you are really surrendering to the fact that you are just, you're better off without this situation, and you're kind of surrendering to the fact that you are giving up, the ideas that you had, okay? You may have had some preconceived notions when you were with this person of a foundation that you wanted, of a way that you wanted things to be, but you're giving that up. You're surrendering the idea here that, yeah, I could go with my strength, with my Queen of Swords energy, I could really go make them look stupid for the things they've done to me. Now I've got connections, now I've got power back, now I know what's up. I could make them look like a fool, I could bring them down, I could go flaunt my success in front of them or this or that, but you don't feel the need to. You've grown enough to where you're really surrendering that ability to make somebody else feel small, because you know that you're better than that. You know that would be like kind of almost lowering yourself to their level, and you're like, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't ever have the need to do that. Maybe that's something you might have done when you were not as wise as you are now, or maybe the first time you went through a situation like this, but now you're like, you know what? That's just me playing their silly games and I'm not going to do that. So I do feel like, again, that this is a situation where, you know, you're kind of surrendering certain aspects of, you know, looking back that, but ultimately what you're doing is you're surrendering a really bad relationship to where you don't give it any more headspace. And that is exactly what you need to be doing. You don't want any of that anymore. And that's the kind of surrender you really want to make. You want to surrender the bad so you make plenty of room for the good, right? And that's exactly what you're doing. You're surrendering the negative to make room for the harmonious, and that's perfect. So I do think everything is looking really good for you. I think you've, at some point in your life, you have really learned how to handle these kinds of situations, and you've handled it impeccably, or you will be handling it impeccably. So kudos to you on that. I think you guys are going to make it through this amazingly, and probably with a new, I really believe, a new somebody special, honestly. I really feel like that for some of you. So I do think you should keep your eyes open for that person to be more than just an opportunity, a contact, even if they do come in as that, like a work contact or something like that. I do think that there's possibly some more there you might want to investigate or open your eyes to, not friend zone so quickly kind of thing. But anyway, that's just my vibe, my 2 cents there on that. But anyway, I do think it's going to come through beautifully. And I think the fact that you are kind of instantly just, nope, no thanks, is really strong, powerful, and amazing. So good for you. And I hope to see you back for your week readings. And otherwise, have a great month of May. Bye.